In 2025, gold is up by over 55%. It's absolutely flown. Now, this is a result of people being uncertain of what's going on in the world. When there is uncertainty in the world, a lot of people move into the likes of precious metals. Look at that. It is absolutely beautiful. What are 3 ways that you can invest into gold now? And should you? What are the pros? What are the cons? And most importantly, are they apocalypse proof? Let's get into it. Gold is often seen as a safe haven, a hedge against inflation, and it has, since the last 20 years, returned an average of 10.9%. That is well keeping up with the S&P 500. Now, that is in part as a result of 55% gains in 2025, like we said. But a lot of people have been moving into gold. So let's explore 3 different ways that you can potentially buy it this year. First of all is physical, just like this bad boy. I've put him back in his case now because I don't want to get smudges on him. Right, this is a 1 ounce Britannia. I bought this for 1,500 quid. About 4 years ago. It's now worth nearly £4,000. Those are ridiculous gains. So physical coins are great for a number of reasons. Let's start with the pros. First of all, you own it, right? You actually own it. It's in your possession. No one can take, well, they could take it away from you. You don't want that to happen. We'll come on to that in a minute. But you physically own it. It's yours. You own it. And for a lot of people, that gives a lot of people a sense of security. If things were to go wrong, if things were to go south, that they actually own something that is of significant value. The second thing is it is bloody beautiful. That's why I bought this. I absolutely love it. I think it is phenomenal looking. There's so much weight to it. Gold is incredibly dense. It's a lot more dense than silver. That means that the coin is a lot smaller than silver in order to be of the same weight. So 1 troy ounce of gold right here. Number 2, it's not tied to any sort of platform. You own it physically, so it's not in a safe somewhere that someone is a custodian of it for you. So it is within your possession rather than being in the system's possession. Number 3, so long as you buy Britannia's legal tender in the UK, there's no capital gains tax to be paid. So like I say, I've made £2,500 on this coin alone. When I come to sell it, I don't have to pay any tax. I don't have to declare anything to anyone. All of the gains are completely mine. Next, it also gives you a level of reassurance and diversification within your portfolio. Some people are just 100% in gold, and if that's within their risk tolerance, that's absolutely fine. It's not within mine. I use it as a diversification within my portfolio. I hold about 5% of my portfolio in gold. What that has meant is, over the last couple of years, I've seen ridiculous gains in that. It has outperformed any other asset class that I own. And finally, the most important one for some of you, it is apocalypse proof, right? This is the greatest thing to hold if there was an apocalypse. The problem with it is it is big. You might have to break it down if you want to be trading it for bread and rice and stuff, but it is a great apocalypse tool to have if the world should end. Let's move on to the cons. So storage, right? If you hold any significant amount, you're going to want to get storage, and that's going to cost you some money, and you're going to have it therefore off-site. You physically own it, but it's off-site. Again, if the system goes down, can you access it when you really want to? Now, as a result of the storage, there's also fees. So there's cost. It's expensive to hold physical gold when you're putting into storage. You also have to consider insurance, more cost as a result of doing so. So there are costs associated with holding physical gold that you might not necessarily have with the other 2 options. You also have to consider the spread, right? The spread is the difference between the value of the item and the price you actually pay. So if you're buying gold from a dealer, they're not going to sell it to you at the ounce value of gold because they'd make no money on it. So they add a bit on. They add a bit on in order to cover their margins, make a little bit of profit. Equally, when you come to sell it to a dealer, they're going to take a bit off so that they can make some money out of it. So the spread within gold can be relatively sizable versus the other option. And the practicality of it as well, they are a bit of a pain to be in possession of. So if that's a consideration, it's something worth thinking about as well. So the second way to own gold is through something called an ETC, and that stands for exchange traded commodity, right? Basically, it's getting exposure to physically backed, make sure it's physically backed. So the one that I use is SGLN. We'll look at that in a minute. Get exposure to physically backed gold ETCs. And if you do this within a stocks and shares ISA, you can avoid the tax on the gains as well. If you do it in a general investment account, there will be tax implications. So this is the one that I hold in Trading 212. This is ticker symbol. That's the code that you need to type in, SGLN. As you can see, over the course of 2025, that has gone up by nearly 55%. And we're a week into January and it's already gone up by nearly 3% already this year. Now, the pros to holding an ETC are as easy to buy and sell. It's a couple of clicks of a button and you've bought it, you've sold it, whatever it may be. Therefore, because you're holding it in an ETC within a stocks and shares ISA as well, there is lower spread because there's lower costs associated with the platform for doing that transaction for you. There's no storage requirements or insurance. So again, the cost comes down if you're going to be doing it this way. And holding it within an ISA, I'm going to say it again, is so massively important because it means that you don't pay any tax on any of the gains. The way you can do that is with an account like Trading 2 and 2. I'll put a link for that below. If you do use that link incidentally, you will get a free fractional share as a result of it. All you need to do is sign up with that link, deposit £1, and you're going to get a free fractional share. Perhaps you'll get a bit of gold. Another con is you don't physically own any gold, right? You have exposure to it. So if the key thing for you is actually owning some physical gold, you don't have that with an ETC. So that's something that you need to bear in mind if you are going to invest into this product. Therefore, that means that you are relying on the system. You're relying on the infrastructure that exists in order to facilitate you owning that ECT in the system. That means, therefore, apocalypse rating for this one is lower. If the world ends, all the systems go down, you're probably never going to be able to access that again. Right, and the third way of getting exposure to gold, and it's not one that I do, is miners. This is companies that actually mine the gold and you invest into those companies. Therefore, you get the returns of the company, you potentially get the exposure to the growth within gold as well. Benefits, the pros of this are the potential for higher returns versus what gold has done. So if you've got picked a business that is a really great miner, has great operational costs, is really smashing it, a great board, etc., you're going to get exposure to the price increase in gold, but you're also going to get exposure to the operational benefits of that company. And that means that your return in that miner may be much more significant than if you physically owned the coin. You can hold these investments within a stocks and shares ISA as well, which means you're protected from the tax on any of the gains. And it may even be that if you pick a specific miner that pays a dividend, you could get some additional income as a result of that. Now, the downside to using miners is it's much more volatile, right? You've got the risk associated with investing into an asset class like gold, but you've also got the risk associated with picking a company that you think is going to do well. There may be issues within the management. There may be issues within the operation of the business, which means that you're at a greater risk of potentially losing more money. Now, that also means you're a greater risk of potentially making more money, but the con has to be said here. There's a higher risk of losing money by investing into individual businesses that mine gold. These companies also won't go in line with gold prices directly, so you won't get that direct index exposure to the price of gold. And as a result of that, the company price, therefore the value that you have within it, can actually fall when the price of gold is going up. Apocalypse rating on this is low as well, because if the world ends, you can pretty much guarantee these gold miners are going to be in a bit of bother. Not only that, but how are you going to be able to access your money if it's in the system? So in conclusion, let's cover the three. Physical, you own it, you've got good peace of mind, but there could be significant costs involved with owning it. ETCs, it's simple, but you don't own it. It is easy to buy and sell, but you don't own that physical asset. And miners, higher risk, higher return. No more complicated than that. So hopefully that gives you an indication of the pros and cons of the different ways of owning gold. If you've got any questions, let me know.